What's up, everybody? Today, we're going to talk tech news, and this is episode 2. Make sure to subscribe if you want to check tech news every week. And we're going to talk about Apple Series 8 watch, new iPhones. We're going to talk about the outage that Amazon had. So if you guys have Amazon and you couldn't check any of your stuff and your Alexas were useless, well, you're going to find out why. So let's roll that intro and then get on with the episode. All right, guys, we're going to hop right into it with Apple in 2022, iPhone 14, new MacBook Airs, Apple Watch 8, and more. And that more is AR glasses. Apple's AR glasses, man. Can't tell me you're not excited for that. If you're an Apple fan or just a technology fan, love VR, love augmented reality, you're definitely got to be excited for this. At least I know I am. So, Apple in 2022, iPhone 14, new MacBook Airs, Apple Watch 8, and more. Let's get this going. So for Apple, 2021 is likely over. Yeah, definitely over. At least in terms of new hardware announcements. While the AirPod Max arrived unexpectedly on December 15th last year, we're not expecting a similar Hail Mary move this time around. So all eyes are on 2022. 2022 could be a massive year for Apple. Not only are we anticipating the useful refreshes of iPhones, MacBooks, iPads, but the company is tipped to be taking its first steps into a whole new product category with the launch of its AR glasses. Here's what we're expecting. So, Apple in 2022, iPhone 14. Given Apple has released a flagship iPhone every year since 2007, nobody seriously expects the company to take a break in 2022. Why would they? They're gonna keep making money off the iPhone, even with minimal design changes and minimal upgrades. And if they didn't, Samsung would just roll them over. So they have no choice but to keep going. The iPhone 14 is almost certainly going to arrive in September, as it does every year, given that's when almost every other flagship Apple handset has arrived. It's early days in terms of what to expect, but leaker John Prosser did give us an early look at an expected shape of the iPhone 14 Pro, with the notch finally removed and a titanium frame. Said notch will reportedly live on with the regular iPhone 14, which will also apparently get its own supersized 6.7-inch Max variant. The Mini, a longtime sales disappointment for Apple, will apparently not be revived for a third year. Damn, I like the Mini, and I know a lot of people that like the Mini. The wife likes the Mini. That sucks. Apple in 2022, iPhone SE 3. SEs are big sellers for Apple. And it's because they're cheap. I mean, they are really cheap. And Apple's software, the iOS, it just runs so smoothly. That's still a long way off. Before the Apple will apparently have a treat for its fans on a budget iPhone. The iPhone SE 3 is said to be arriving in fourth quarter of 2022, possibly March, packing the same Apple A15 Bionic chip that makes the iPhone 13 family fly both in benchmarks and day-to-day use. Confusingly, it could be called the iPhone SE Plus, despite packing the same 4.7-inch screen size and iPhone 8-like design as its 2020 predecessor, home button and all. That's dumb. I don't like that. While Apple has previously used the word plus to denote larger screens, the rationale here is to promote the 5G credentials. It's still stupid. A first for the iPhone SE line. Apple Watch Series 8. The Apple Watch Series 8 will, according to the first leak-based CAD files, look a bit like the Apple Watch 7, which in turn look like the previous 6th generation of Apple Watch. They boast these design changes on the Apple Watch, but I don't think that there really is much of one. From the first one to the 7, it's pretty much the same design. But for the Apple Watch, it's what's on the inside that counts. Kind of. In my opinion, kind of. And ho-hum, design could push Apple towards more bold changes to the internals. It's too early to know for sure what will entail. The Apple Watch tends to launch alongside flagship iPhones in September, but we have a fascinating early indication that will involve a whole host of new health sensors. SE Documents shows Apple's largest customer business called Rocky Photonics, which happen to specialize in medical sensors for measuring everything from blood pressure to alcohol levels. At the time, the CEO said he expects the tech to arrive in consumer products in 2022, which is extremely exciting, especially given the long-running rumors that Apple one day hopes to make diabetics live easier with non-invasive blood glucose measurements, which I know they plan on trying to do that. Note that we are also hearing that Apple could have 3 new Apple Watches launching in 2022, which could include an Apple Watch SE2, possibly a new rugged Apple Watch targeting outdoor enthusiasts. This info comes from Bloomberg's Mark Gurman in his Power On newsletter. All right, let's take a look at Apple and 2022 iMac. Man, I know people are really hoping that when this M1 Pro and M1 Pro Max came out that we'd see an iMac, and we didn't. But that means this new M2 or a better processor could be in the iMac. Earlier this year, Apple's 21.5-inch iMac transformed into the colorful M1-powered 24-inch iMac. The 27-inch model, however, retains the old look and Intel chipset for now. In 2022, it is highly likely that that big screen iMac will get a refresh. One leaker with an extremely strong track record, Dylan KT, believes that it will be replaced by something branded as the iMac Pro. Why will it be called this? To better distinguish this device from the iMac 24-inch. The leaker with an invaluable 75% accuracy rating on Apple Track tweeted it will apparently feature the M1 Pro and M1 Max chips seen in the new MacBook Pros and come with an inviolable list of specs. Ooh. iMac Pro, mini LED, 16GB RAM base model, 512GB storage base model, M1 Pro and Max, dark bezels, HDMI, SD card, USB-C, similarly designed to the 24-inch Pro display XDR, starting at $2,000, Ethernet on brick standard, Face ID was tested, not confirmed. That'd be cool. Ooh, Apple 2022 Mac Mini. The Mac Mini is less sure of a refresh, but the leaker leaks Apple Pro reckons that a new model is coming next year. Why? Of course. If they can put an M1 in it, they can put an M1 Max in that sucker. They're going to do it. That's for sure. M1 Pro, M1 Max chipset for power users. Apple's modular workstation, the Mac Pro, is due for Apple Silicon treatment, but quite how is a matter of speculation. The current system has 12 DIMM slots for 1.5 terabyte RAM, 8 PCIe slots, and further expansion. Apple Silicon, meanwhile, is a fully integrated solution with unified memory and integrated graphics, so it's entirely possible that whatever Apple does with the Mac Pro will look very different from the current model or a company's other M1 power devices. And now, the MacBook Air 2022. People are pumped for all these color options on this new MacBook Air 2022. The MacBook Air 2022 is set to get a bold new look, mimicking the colorful range of the 24-inch iMacs available. Rather than adopting the M1 Pro and M1 Max chips, the laptop is expected to get an upgraded M1 or an M2 chip. It is, after all, for lighter work than the Pro Max. Like the new MacBook Pro, it reportedly gets MagSafe charging back and may or may not feature a mini LED screen, but probably not with a notch. As good as the MacBook Pro 14-inch is with its M1 Pro chip, not everyone needs that much power, and it has a steep starting price at $1,999. The good news is that Apple is rumored to be releasing a replacement for the 13-inch MacBook Pro with an M2 chip sometime in 2022. This prediction comes from Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, who predicts everything. He reports that Apple is readying an entry-level MacBook Pro. We don't know anything about the other specs or designs yet. The M2 chip is tipped to have the same 8 CPU cores as the Apple M1 chip, but an upgraded 10-core graphics processor. That'd be cool. No cooling in it, really, from a fan. So who knows how it'll do, but that'd be cool. We also anticipate an SD card slot, MagSafe charger, and a 1080 display, but that's just speculation for now. Apple AR and VR headset. This is one for the maybe pile, but rumor has it that 2022 will see the first generation of Apple AR headset. This is a big deal, as reporting suggests that Apple sees such wearables as replacing the iPhone in the next decade. The first generation of Apple mixed reality headsets will apparently offer similar computing power to the M1 chip and Max. Be awesome, and could feature a dual 4K micro OLED display. In other words, it likely won't be cheap. Nothing Mac or Apple is cheap. While Ming-Chu Ku says it will be a standard product, others say it will require iPhone or Mac, just as the first generation Apple Watch did. A report from Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, again, says that the new Apple mixed reality headset will have 3 killer features: gaming, media consumption, and communication. Gaming should be a strong focus on the machine, especially given that it will have multiple processors, a fan, extremely high-resolution displays, and its own app store. Later Apple devices, Apple Glass. Man, I really want to see the Apple Glass. It's very easy to confuse Apple Glasses, rumored Google Glass-style eyewear, with AR headsets mentioned above. Not least because there much crossover of possible padded applications. But for now, Apple Glasses aren't expected until at least 2023. And given the current chip shortage, you won't be surprised if they slip further into the future. And we're not going to talk Apple Car. And we're not going to talk that, but we will talk iPhone Flip. Apple's first foldable phone, rumored to be called the iPhone Flip, almost certainly won't be competing with the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4. Ming-Chu Prosser and Mark Gurman all think 2023 is the earliest we'll see it, with the later suggesting it's still 2 to 3 years away. Really sad. I really want to see a folding iPhone. I think Apple could nail it, and I really want to see it, and it just sucks. That's it for the Apple predictions. But let's get into some more Apple news. Car thieves are using the Apple AirTags to track vehicles. Let's talk about this. Apple released the AirTags in April to help people keep track of their keys, luggage, and other easy-to-lose items. Now the device is being used to monitor the locations of something else, cars, or more specifically, high-end vehicles that car thieves have started tracking with AirTags. Since September 2021, officers have investigated 5 incidents where suspects have placed small tracking devices on high-end vehicles so they can later locate and steal them. York Regional Police say brand name AirTags are placed in out-of-sight areas of the target vehicle when they are parked in public places like malls or parking lots. Thieves then track these targeted vehicles to the victim's residence where they are stolen from the driveway. Wow. The police say that AirTags are being hidden in trailers, hitches, bumpers, and other hard-to-spot places on vehicles because the AirTags were designed to be as unobtrusive as possible. There are plenty of hiding places for car thieves to place the device on an intended target. Stowing one of the trackers is quicker than actually stealing the car, and after the vehicle leaves the public parking lot, it's probably going to be kept somewhere private enough for the theft to occur. Apple previously updated the AirTags to reduce the length of time one of the trackers would need to be away from its owner before it started to alert people who have been traveling in close proximity to the device as a safeguard against product being used to stalk someone. Although that charge only helps iPhone owners, Android users are left with third-party solutions while they wait for the company to deliver the app it promised to release on the platform. AirTags are still designed to start issuing this warning sometimes between 8 and 24 hours after being separated from their owner. That leaves plenty of time for a car thief to place the device on a vehicle, track it to a more secluded area, and potentially steal it before the owner realizes they've picked up a stowaway AirTag. York Regional Police recommend storing cars in garages, purchasing steering wheel locks, or taking other steps to deter would-be thieves. That's shitty. That really sucks. And AirTags are so awesome. I do love AirTags. I think they're a great idea, and I think they work really well. And I just think that people are always going to take items that are useful and use them in a shitty, nefarious way or an unintended way. It happens all too often with all kinds of things. Let's move on from depressing AirTag news. And let's take a look at an Amazon server outage caused problems for Alexa, Ring, Disney Plus, and deliveries. I don't know about you guys. You guys can leave in the comments and let me know if you had any issues. But yeah, man, I was logged out of Disney Plus and everything. Delivery didn't come in, couldn't track it. Purchases weren't going right. Couldn't turn on the lullabies for my daughter during nap time because Alexa was useless. It's giving me problems with my hue lights because it's just a nightmare. It was a freaking mess. I mean, it sucked. Now this is why there was a server outage. Problems with some Amazon Web Services cloud services are causing slow loading or failure for significant chunks of the internet. Amazon's widespread network of data center powers many of things you interact with online, including websites. So as we've seen in previous AWS outage incidents, any problem has massive rippling effects. People started noticing problems at around 10:45 a.m. Eastern, and just after 6 p.m., the AWA status showed many services had already recovered. However, we are working towards full recovery across services. Amazon's internal apps went down to cutting off some delivery drivers and stalling warehouse robots. While some affected services that rely on AWS have been restored, the internet is still a bit slower and more unsteady than usual. The most important app impacted by outages might be ones that Amazon employees use. CNBC points out Reddit posts from Amazon Flex Warehouse and delivery workers who say that the app keep track of packages, tell them where to go, and generally keep your item on time went down too. There have been reportages of outages for Disney Plus, Netflix streaming, as well as games like PUBG, League of Legends, and Valorant. Man, you don't want to piss off them PUBG and League of Legends people, man. Oh my God. We also noticed some problems accessing Amazon.com and other Amazon products like the Alexa AI assistant, Kindle eBooks, Amazon Music, and security cameras from Ring or Wise. Yeah, man, could you imagine freaking cameras go out and somebody robs your ass? That'd suck. The down detector list of services with simultaneous spikes in their outage reports run off nearly any recognizable name. Tinder, Roku, Coinbase, both Cash App and Venmo, and the list goes on. There were reports from network admins everywhere about errors connecting to Amazon instances and AWS Management Console that controls their access to the servers. After about an hour of problems, Amazon official status page added an update with message confirming the outage. Man, it would have been nice when I was thinking my Alexa was fucked up if they would have, said, hey, we have an outage. Or an email or something, guys. With the problem coming from the U.S. East 1 AWS region in Virginia, users elsewhere may not have seen many issues, and even if you were affected, it could manifest as slightly slower loading, while their network rerouted your request somewhere else. Yeah, it was a real pain. Leave it to Amazon, right? Well, guys, that's all the time I have for tech news. There's some other tech news. There was some RTX card that came out. If you guys would have wanted to hear about that or still do, leave a comment. I'll throw it on next week's tech news. Otherwise, it's really not a big thing. NVIDIA, it's just so hard getting graphics cards right now. You're just better off waiting. You're just going to pull your hair out trying to get them. It's scalpers, man. They really suck. If you're lucky enough to get one, like I'd just go for the 3080, 3070, 3050 even, 3090. Good luck, you're balling. If you're getting a 3090, make sure to send some of that money my way, guys. But yeah, we'll have some game news coming out on Monday. Some of the Game Award stuff. Talk about that. Also, there's going to be a AirTag AirTag video coming out. Probably also Monday, Tuesdays, somewhere around there. I always make it a double drop of videos. I have plenty to watch. But if you guys have anything to say, leave some comments. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. Really appreciate you watching the video. Let me know what you guys want to see, what you want to see reviewed. Check out my social media pages. Those will all be listed. I really appreciate you watching. And I hope you have a great day. Till next time, have a good one.